Good morning, guys. Happy St. Patrick's Day. It is Wednesday, March the 17th, and this is what we cover for today. So to get us started, I asked the class if you would try these. So these are Jamaican drinks. They've got all kinds of flavors. They look really good to me. They've got cream soda and grapefruit, fruit punch, Jamaica, cola, grape, and pineapple. Bold, bubbly, colorful, and effervescent. I think I would try those if they were in the United States. But that's what we're looking at today. What few things can be barriers to actually importing or exporting other countries' products? So just a little continuation with globalization. So we're going to look at 3 new vocabulary terms. I'm going to give you the notes first, and then we're going to look at the videos. So this first one is a ban. A ban. So think about if you're banned from a club, you're not allowed to come in. So another name for a ban is an embargo. There they go. Okay, so an embargo. So I highlighted the B in embargo because ban starts with a B and embargo has a B in it. So an embargo is when a government will not allow certain products into their country. So like, for example, with COVID, at the beginning of COVID and technically throughout COVID, countries actually banned people from all over the world from coming into their own country. So there was like a travel ban. With animals, like the fishing methods in Mexico, when they're fishing for tuna, in Mexico, they would cast out these huge nets and then they would catch dolphin, so flipper, in those nets. So what we did is the United States put a ban on importing tuna from Mexico because of the way that they were fishing. Because we protect dolphins in the United States with the Marine and Mammals Protection Act. So remember, an embargo is a ban, not allowed to come in. A quota is a limit. Think about a police officer. Police officers, they're said to try to make their quota by the end of each month. So a quota is a limit on the number that you can actually import into your country. So it's the quantity. So I gave you guys an example with that soda that we talked about at the beginning. So what Jamaica does is they will only import a certain amount of, let's say, Pepsi into their country. So that way, when you go to the grocery store in Jamaica, you'll see Jamaican sodas and Pepsi and Coca-Cola products. You won't just see Pepsi and Coke. So they'll put a limit on the number of Pepsi products that they actually import into their country. That way, they're still promoting their own products. And this helps to prevent those monopolies from forming. That way, Pepsi will not be the only drink on their shelves, which is made in the United States. It also promotes very healthy competition. So a quota is a limit. And then the last one, a tariff. That's a tax. So remember the T in tariff and the T in tax. That is an actual, you guys pay sales tax. Like when I bought this drink this morning, I paid a sales tax on it. So that's what we're talking about. But we're talking about a tax on products that are actually imported into a country. So we'll use that same example with a soda. So if you guys can see in this picture, I know it's a little blurry, but I tried to do the best that I could. The bigger price, now these prices are in Jamaican dollars, but I've converted them down here at the bottom for you. So a Jamaican soda, this is about a liter, is $1.50. And then Pepsi and Coke products are about $2.80. So what happens when you go to the grocery stores in Jamaica, most people will actually buy the cheaper soda if they like it. So they would buy the bigger, which encourages them to actually buy the cheaper product. So what Jamaica will do when they're importing Pepsi, when they import those Pepsis, they'll put a tax on those products. That way that'll increase that price of that Pepsi to encourage people to buy the substitute soda. So a tariff is a tax on imported products. And that's the new stuff that we covered today. You guys make sure that you have your you're working on your projects, your balance of trade, do your exit ticket, and here are the videos that go along with this stuff. All right, so this first one is your travel ban because of COVID.
Most affected country in the world. Nearly a year after the U.S. recorded its first COVID-19 case, that number has climbed to more than 25 million. Put your hand back up a little bit. That's 1 in 14 Americans infected with the disease. Almost 420,000 of them have died. President Joe Biden says the pandemic is his top priority, but his team is already revising his goal of vaccinating 100 million Americans in 100 days.
There was a little bit of a misunderstanding. What we're talking about is 100 million shots in individuals. So a shot, as in other words, when you get down to, let's say, a certain part of the 100 days, at the end of 100 days, you're going to have some people who will have gotten both shots and some will still be on their first shots. But the president is saying 100 million shots in the arms of people within 100 days.
And Biden officials are accusing the Trump administration of making a grave mistake in its pandemic response plans.
Everyone American is seeing the way in which people get vaccine is chaotic. It's very limited. We've seen this factor all over the country where millions of doses have been distributed. About half of that has been given out.
The president wants Congress to approve nearly $2 trillion in pandemic relief spending. This on top of a $900 billion measure passed back in December. Biden's fellow Democrats say supporting the economy is critical right now, but congressional Republicans say not so fast.
The idea that we need a stimulus is a little hard to understand because I'm one of those that's convinced that if you want to see this economy get going, we got to get beyond COVID. If we get beyond COVID, I believe that the economy is going to come roaring back, and spending and borrowing trillions of dollars from the Chinese, among others, is not necessarily the best thing we can do to get our economy to be strong long term.
So guys, from this video, what's going on is that at the beginning of the COVID virus pandemic, countries were banning travel. So we were banning travel from people from Europe coming into the United States, Brazil coming into the United States, South America coming into the United States. So people were not allowed to travel into the United States to try to slow down that pandemic spread. All right, so the second one is your quota. So this is a limit. So I want you guys to look. This lady is shopping. We're not going to watch the whole thing. This lady is shopping at a grocery store in Jamaica, and I just want you guys to see some of the products on the shelves.
$110 for a box of juice. But you know, it's the conversion for me. It's the conversion.
You guys see our products up there, Hunt's and Ragu. So we've got a lot of American products on their shelves.
Good morning. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel for a little panel. What are the prices we have? What's going on here? I'm crying. I'm crying so many. Okay, so what else do we need here? Okay, for sure I need some hi. Is that the same weight? Okay, so
Now these prices are in Jamaican dollars, so you guys can see. So 890 Jamaican dollars.
So I'm gonna get this one. I don't know why this one is more expensive. Should I get some granola bars? No, I don't think I need that. No. Okay, y'all, so we're going to the next aisle. Let's see. What else? We have a lot of soda here, like $179. Coca-Cola, 200, and $3 for this big thing, huh?
So you guys can see that they've got products from mainly the United States and Jamaica in their grocery stores. So Jamaica will limit the number of American products that come into their country. That way Jamaican products can be on their shelves too, and American products won't take over. And then the last video to go along with your tariff, your tax. So this is related to Harley-Davidson. And when President Trump actually put tariffs on exports that go out of our country.
Create more jobs and more factories in the United States, and you're a great example of it.
You're a great example of it. That was just last year at the White House. The president holding up a quintessential American brand, motorcycle maker Harley-Davidson, as just the type of company he wants to help. Well, check your inbox, Mr. President. Harley-Davidson now announcing it plans to move some operation out of the U.S. because of the tariffs. So, is this America First trade policy going exactly as planned? Joining me right now, CNN correspondent Allison Cossack with much more on this. Allison, what is Harley-Davidson doing?
Okay, so in this SEC filing from today, we're learning about what Harley-Davidson is doing. It is going ahead and shifting production of its motorcycles it makes for European customers, literally moving it out of the United States and setting up shop overseas to avoid the tariff and ultimately save money and customers. Now, we learned that Harley-Davidson is making this drastic move to literally hold on to its second biggest sales market, and that's Europe. And this is after the EU raised tariffs from 6% to 31% on motorcycles that are exported from the U.S. Now, Harley says the tariff raises the price by about $2,200 on every motorcycle that's sold in Europe. So that really cuts its competitive strength in Europe if their motorcycles are more than what's already on the market. So you look at the security filing, Harley-Davidson said this. It said it believes that the tremendous cost increase, if it's passed on to its dealers and retail customers, it would wind up having an immediate and lasting detrimental impact to its business in the region. So instead,
All right, guys, so y'all could see from that video that Harley-Davidson is moving one of their manufacturing plants into Europe because of the taxes that are on imports. And that's what we covered for today. So if you guys will make sure to go into Canvas, do your exit ticket, and then also make sure you're working on your balance of trade activity. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.